issues, along with limiting our investments in the community. And if you start looking at other counties, most of them have an HR department separate from the treasurer's office, paying another person a salary to do those. So mine is, I'm asking for $98,920 for my salary, which is a little high if you start looking, but at the same time, I'm not employing another office to do these duties, which would be $100,000 to get a HR director. As far as my staff, we work really hard in my office. Most of y'all walk in, our heads are down, we're busy working. We're not sitting there playing on our cell phones, on Facebook, any of that kind of stuff. We have a job to do, and we serve our community by working hard. Oftentimes, when we get your email for payroll, for your pay stubs, we're here till 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, finishing payroll, while we don't get to go home. Y'all might be up trees and stuff, but most courthouse staff gets to go home at 5 o'clock. So we're sometimes here, Susan, what were we, almost 9 o'clock 2 weeks ago? It's when you have software issues and bank issues, it happens. I also want to take a moment to let you know we implemented a product called Positive Pay with our bank, Wells Fargo. So when we run payables, we can key in every check with the amount and the check number. So if you go home and try to duplicate a check fraudulently and present it at your bank, our bank is going to say, hey, this doesn't match, and it's going to decline it immediately. Same thing for wires, anything like that. So if someone's trying to fraudulently cash our funds, what we're doing is protecting our taxpayer dollars, and it says no, do not honor this payment. So you cannot bypass that system. We tried it with the sheriff's office first because they have 3 accounts that are very small, and Ms. Amanda Miller tackled that project alongside herself. It worked very, very well. I've implemented it with all of my accounts that I house in my office. I will be talking to Marshall, our district clerk, next, and our tax assessor, so they can get on board as well. Especially the tax assessor, because she has such a high volume dollar in her accounts. And so I think that we've really streamlined a lot of processes in our office and guarded our funds with all of the 40 accounts that we have. I'm also in the IT department's budget. There's been $30,000 held for numerous years for my office in that budget, and this year I will be giving it back to the general fund. It is something that we are not going to utilize. It is a software that was approved before I came on board, and when I dug into it, the software has a lot of problems that I do not agree with, and a lot of security glitches. So I'm just going to give that back to the general fund. The only other thing, sorry, go ahead. I do have a part-time staff member right now, and I would ask that those funds be rolled into my full-time wages. I'm asking for 12 hours every week, just to make her full-time. And part of that is Martin had provided us with Kathy at 911 to assist my office in record retention, to digitize all of our records, and I would like to have that in my office moving forward.
Any questions?
Have Kathy in your office?
No. Kathy at 911 was digitizing all of our records electronically, and so I would like to bring that back in my office moving forward.
So make your part-time.
Make my part-time full-time. Correct.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. I'm glad we got to work in.
Thank you so much.
All right, Commissioner Precinct 1.
Sorry. Well, based on the first look at the salary survey, anticipating possibly some benefit, 7% cost of salary increase to get my guys kind of in line with what they need to do. We got to keep the team together, we got to keep them motivated. And what we did is all the commissioners was pretty thankless. And it's never.
We did, by the way, as you brought that up, we did but I just feel like it's nice to we'll just blanket when we know.
I just, I take those all day long. I like it.
Yeah. So, we did thank you on a,
I got a text this morning, you know, go fix that.
no, sir.
You just got one?
Yeah, one.
We've got some equipment needs coming up this year. I've got some, we're gonna go through our, yard, some was discarded, put up for auction. A lot of equipment that's just not functional. I've got 2 rollers, neither one work. I'm gonna have to replace both of those. I've got one pneumatic wheel roller that we're gonna try to fix, we're gonna try to build it. We took the motor off of the back drive and we're gonna fix it. The other one needs a water tank and the other 2 rollers is not fixed. I've got some, dump truck issues. Gonna have to replace 2 belly dump trucks and probably a truck. So I've got my work cut out for me just to kind of keep things rolling. In August, we've got our John Deere maintainer coming to the Twilight Vista lease. And my plans are to turn that in and do a purchase lease with the capital. That would come out for me in the capital. And you know, I know that.
We have voted bridge or
Yeah, this one.
or not?
We're not.
Okay, good, sorry.
So, one of the things is we were going through the hearing on the bonds and insurance, I undershot that significantly. That should be $20,000. And then that increase just carried on down to the end.
Yes, sir.
Into the budget. Machine equipment rental, in the interim, between being able to purchase a new roller, I'm gonna have to rent a roller. Probably, maybe not 2, maybe just 1 for right now. But, our repairs, as our equipment ages, are going through the roof. I just had to repair our distributor truck. Spent $17,000 had to go through it just to be able to chip it. So on my remaining budget from last year, I've got some significant balances, but those are all going to be spent between now and the new budget year. We started our project out on 1240 today. They surveyed that, they're getting ready to start rolling that up. And we're looking forward to having that done, not only from the county and the taxpayers, but the city of Liberty's, particularly here at the ISD. I mean, that's going to be a big deal. We went through the process. We did a traffic study. That road carried 1,600 cars a day. Speed limits up to 65 miles an hour. So we remember a couple of courts ago, we changed that to 35 miles an hour and helped the city get that converted to a school instead of being one for whatever reason. Anyway, Ronnie, the point I was trying to make there is the remaining dollars that I had in my budget that appear to be like I sang that I did for this project, and I've got one chip seal project, 1414 that we're finished, probably before fiscal year starts. So that construction materials, just a moderate increase in that because the prices went up on us from bids. And then Roger, remember down to sidewalk stringer, and then I've got a ground one. So what I'm doing is I'm having an outsourcing sprayer, third-party contractor to come in and get out in front of us. While it's got vegetation, kill it, and then we'll burn it back and then we'll cut it after we see it dies off. And same thing there, I left the construction materials about the same as last year. And then reduced my fuel, just on that, a little bit left over. Capital outlay, and if in laterals for the rollers, to build the trailers. And I'm building, some bridge infrastructure, and that may have grant fund money, but across Mustang Creek on 1136, that's been a problem. A lot of the traffic on that road has increased significantly. And when you get a rain like we got on Sunday, Monday last week, it was up to, it was 20 feet out of its banks. So, I've talked with Yoder, I've gotten a bid from him of $250,000 for that bridge. And then in capital waste, debt service, that's a trade, John Deere right there.
Are you anticipating $500,000 left over in the FM lateral budget this year?
Say that again.
The FM lateral funds, those come from the state, or those are come from the state, but they don't vary much from year to year, I don't think. Unless you built up a reserve, I don't think you'll have $6 million to pay up there. We'll see.
Well, it's just fine.
But the grant, of course, if you get some grant funds, you can start.
Well, that's, the increase over last year, Susan, was for the two machines, and I may put that in the wrong, account. I put the trailer and maintain for the new account in there. If you want to put that in another category, you can move that back to where it is.
Cause in, let's see, in y'all's FM lateral, y'all generally you received, projected this year, we're gonna receive $786,000. So to have any, just be able to spend more than that, you know, you're gonna have to have some extra revenue somewhere. All of the FM laterals, yours is 786, precinct 2, 780, 3, 891, and 4, 754,000. It's just the raw tax money without sale of equipment, of course, you know, you said you had a trade in the maintainer.
Correct.
But when we get the revenue numbers in, y'all might have to modify your figures a little bit.
When they that come in, right?
Any questions for the commissioner? All right, on the end. 362.
I still like to keep my part-time in there, I did not have one this year. I still like to keep that there. I need 2 full-time, part-time guys with a match product. Precinct 2, we have completed over 80, 90 miles of chip seal roads, but there's no money to redo those roads, keep them repaired. If not, I'm wasting my money trying to improve the roads beyond. And there's people still begging to chip seal the roads. And that's one of the texts I got this morning, that people have donated to help do that road, and I don't have the money to redo it. And I also, you know, I wanted for 10 years, 11 years, for a budget that precincts can do something with. And I've got 3 low water crossings that are dangerous. One on 2109 or Dogtown, we call it, out of Whitney. And I've got a dirt road road, out here in Union Bluff, that when it rains, they gotta go, they can't get out. It's a dirt road that I need to rebuild. And I've been trying to rebuild it for 2 years, and something else has always happened to do that. I've got 3 wooden bridges left, and 2 are still hung up with, what are they? Still hung up with the state for 3 years now, and don't look like they're ever gonna happen. But I've got another wooden bridge that's gonna be a 70, 80-foot bridge, 200,000 to build that bridge. So, you know, I've asked for a lot, but I know I'm not gonna get it. But, you know, as far as increase, my employees deserve it more than I do. Without them, they take care of the road. They do a hell of a job. And, I know Jim's got road that he wants to help him chip seal. Scotty's got one that I'm the only crew that does that. And I'd like to give my foreman a little extra for his expertise on that machine. And he does know what he's doing. But, it'd be great to have more money, but it's, you know, everybody says, well, we pay our county tax. Yeah. Well, in comparison to McLennan County, there's no comparison. Their budget, county is $94 million. Hill County is $19 million, depending on what's gonna be this year. We can't do everything that everybody wants. But,
Well, the thing that people don't understand,
Mhm.
and I've started to explain it every time somebody brings that up, you know, they don't want to hear it, but I make them listen to it anyway. Because I pay all these taxes, and my road looks like this. I'm tired of this, and I'm gonna go off on the tirade. So I started doing some sampling. You guys have heard this before. I took a $4,600 tax bill from the Covington ISD, and out of that, I get $252. And that includes FM lateral and what we get from the county. $252 to maintain that road. I can't put a shovel load of gravel in the drive.
It costs $200 average for a road and rock out of it. Not counting all, that's just for the purchase of the rock. And, you know, right now, there's so many trucks running at Connors now from Weatherford and coming down here for rock. And I just found out there's gonna be another solar system in my precinct this week, in the dead end road, but, you know, when I started the chip sales in 15, we had 3 disasters. I worked for the money, my employees, bought the equipment, and 18 we had disasters. And we started fixing the roads, and now the money's not there to keep them up. And people say, I pay my county tax, but they don't understand that we get 8% divided 4 ways.
Well,
Well, when I get the lease, which is, I tell people, look at your county taxes, and I get a little less than 2% of what you pay. So if they pay $1,000, I get $20, one phone call.
You know, that's just like the appraisal, you know, $500,000 to the appraisal this year. The people don't see that. And they say, I want my county road, but everybody who lives in the city of Hillsborough, city of Whitney, they pay our county tax, but they don't live on the county road. The budget's gonna be what it's gonna be, how it's divided up, whether we get anything extra or not, it's just gonna work out that way. I guess I've expressed myself.
well done, well done.
One more thing, you know,
I'll stretch your name.
I need 2 pickups. I've got a 02 pickup with 280,000. I've got a 13 model pickup with 290,000.
Sounds like I'm in the right round.
We do. Since I'm 2, it's been there since before I was. I've got 8 model motor graders, but I keep repairing them to keep them going because I'm not more than $700,000 to buy 2 motor graders. And if I buy and start paying $300,000 a year payment, I can't do anything to it. We keep repairing. Okay, I'm done.
have equipment, but they're not working on the road.
Yep.
It's just like,
Okay, Scotty.
All right, precinct 3,
Well, as you can see, my blank,
Commissioner Hawkins, wants to know.
they have asked for everything. Well, actually, that's for full-time employee, I'd like to keep me on, but other than that, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. If we can bump up a little bit, that's great, if we can't, we'll just operate on what we got. We made it this year, so far.
On both?
Let's keep going.
That was easy.
well, cause Larry already said everything usually said.
Took the words
I'm
out.
not coming back.
We got something to say already.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back again.
All right, well then we'll move to 4. Mr. Lake.
I really have to say a little bit of extra, whatever, those things keep going up, I need to buy another truck, so. That's in excess of 100,000, so. Other than that, that's about it.
You know,
And
they
they
were,
were, I could find some more people, I was too short. I had one guy that I started to hire, and he started talking about, in the last couple of years, he had back surgery and open heart surgery. And so I didn't hire him, and went and tried to get Scotty in there too. I mean, he would have been a good employee, but I don't think our insurance can stand it. That's what killed us a few years ago.
You still have to feel the position here.
Yeah,
you know, we've all got, I've got 5 employees.
that's what I've got.
And you got 5, you got 7,
I've got 6 at the moment, but
if
I
they show up.
but I have an extra opening, I planned on filling that in October.
Yeah.
I didn't because I had an employee pass away this year. You know, we kept him on, and so I didn't want to hire a guy that's gonna have a full salary for him. So it's wait till October for him to get, but I will, I should have 7 at that point.
You know, I got around 300 miles. Scotty's got, what, 400 miles? And people want to know why, if you can't cover the roads, which I'm blessed with the pit
That's-
closed.
Well,
We were hauling at Whitney, last week, and they were getting 6 loads a day each.
But I've heard it said, you said it many times at this table, our guys got 22 loads here today, they got 26 loads here today. It takes us all week to get that, you know? You know?
Cause he goes all the way
we
down
run
to
short, short,
Mount-
location.
Mount Connor,
Sure.
80 miles, 60 miles.
60 miles from the store of Alcon to Rattlers Gate at 60 miles long. I've never measured it at Connor's, but 60 miles.
You chose to live so far from Rome.
I know. And we got all the dirt.
We got all the dirt. If we don't have any dirt, we got a bunch of rocks.
So hopefully Larry might find somebody that is capable. I mean, you still have somebody that wants to, but they don't have the CDL,
Right.
they can't run a lawnmower.
I had an application on the guy who was really qualified with CDL, backhoe, loader. But he was making, he wanted to come work for the county, but he was making $34 an hour. And overtime.
As an operator.
Yeah, and the best I can do is 23.
Well, those people out there on the solar farm running the road grader, they're making 42, 44.
Yeah, you talk about somebody that doesn't know how to run something.
Oh, and they don't, they stop on my guy and say, how do you do this? So we can't figure out how to do it. You're making $20 an hour more than my guy, and you don't know how to run it?
Yeah. And their twins were in there.
Huh?
Hey,
It's about to wind up.
So here's, I guess it's good to kind of need to come up with this idea. It's fairly well known that my priorities are safety of the community, police, fire, EMS, and roads. I have no constitutional or any other authority over either of those things. But I can attempt to help you guys in the sheriff's office and EMS and fire from any angle that I can. One idea that I brought up to myself, and I'm trying to think through it, is to give you guys what you have in construction materials purchase, take the receipt for that construction material purchase to Susan, and she would backfill your construction material. That way this fund would only be used for materials. You would still have to budget in your machines, your fuel, the blah, 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 all that. But I'm trying to, without, because it's gonna take us a while to plan and figure out how to wrap our heads around the long-term solution for our things. That's not a simple conversation we can have in one day. There's just, it's a long-term solution. What I'm trying to do is remove the amount of roadblocks from you guys, and now that doesn't help you hire folks, that doesn't help your maintenance, that doesn't help your truck problems. But it is one roadblock that we could remove.
Well, what it would do, what this is about right now, say we did have a disaster. I've always tried to keep money back, because I lived through a disaster like Larry had. I can't wait on me, if they may or may not be there. Meantime, folks are in school, they go to work, mail they get through, you gotta get that road open. So that would allow us to spend more of our budget, knowing that that's sitting there in contingency, that we can draw if we did need.
So these funds right now are sitting, in reserve. We have in our rainy day per se fund, we have 42% of our budget sitting there. I believe that's a little high. That's tax dollars that we took that we're not getting a return. I would like to see that lowered slightly. I'm not saying that we're not gonna have a savings account where we can't replace the water heater. We're gonna have a savings account, we're gonna be able to protect ourselves. But at 42%, we're higher than the state recommends, and we're higher than the court's adopted. The court adopted 35%, 35%. We're sitting at 42. So it's wise to have it at 35%. I do believe that. I do think that people would like to see that gone down the road and used. So that's where I'm talking about getting these funds, is not from the tax money for this year, the revenues coming in this coming year. I'm talking about using revenues that we've already taken and not giving a return on surplus, to put in that big lump sum. And again, only be earmarked, and this would have to be an agreement at this table, right, of all the electeds, that these funds are earmarked strictly for material, road material.
It's 150 apiece.
I say, that's part of the discussion.
Okay.
We'll throw a number out, that's discussable, and I'm kind of the line that's first come, first served. I don't know if you guys like that. I think it means whoever's gonna go to work and get it done is gonna go to work and get it done, and they get the most of it.
It's funny you're not gonna get your head
I'll end up using 450,000 in FM level construction. I'm down to probably 100,000 left for 2.5 more months.
Right.
And I feel like if I were to use this money, I've got 20 miles of chip seal roads that need to be re-chip sealed for 20,000 miles. That's 400,000 right there.
So 150,000 on that.
Yeah.
That's, you boil that down.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
We're gonna look at, Jim, was it $350,000 to 325 for the oil of the school? Is that what?
414, 414 for 7,150 feet.
Okay, so it's about what, 375, 375,000 miles? So, you know, you
It's
look
not
at,
cheap.
if we start working on the roads, he doesn't have a bunch of trees and fences and all that through there.
Not right there, no,
So
we've already done the ditch work on the road.
So if we have to start redoing a road, $500,000 a mile, okay?
But still, the right of ways are not wide enough for the road.
Well, I know you're gonna have to have somebody come in and take all those trees and all those fences out and $500,000 a mile, we've got.
And then they'll take those litigation funds in for the landowner for taking the fence down.
so the,
Sure not.
so the, again, this is not a fix, right? This is a ban.
Just throwing out an idea.
I'm throwing out an idea, but, and here's the deal, if we go this route while we're trying to figure you guys are the road commissioners. But if it were me, I would identify my more traveled corridors, and those would be my focus. The goat trail, I'm sorry, that's not gonna, 4 people drive down it a week, that's not gonna be my priority, you
We
know?
do that now.
Yeah.
People don't understand it, but
Yeah.
we do it.
Yeah,
You know, 1,400 miles is just $500,000 miles, $700 billion to pave our roads. And that's if you get it done for $500,000 a mile. And 500
Every
miles.
time we have any
Huh?
extraneous issues to do.
Yeah,
I
and if
remember.
we had,
no,
if we had a $700 million bond issue, we would need to bring up stable to get all the people that are going to talk about it.
But Judge, it's also just like the first year y'all thinking about this, it's gonna continue.
Yeah, this is,
It's kind of
again-
a multi-year process.
right, this is not the solution. I
You're not
promise.
gonna really know anything until July the 31st.
Right, and that's true too. Seeing our revenues and where we sit, Justin, because what I've given you guys, which I didn't cover this, we just sped right off into the budget. The papers that I gave you guys are everybody's wants and needs from today. I've got it in my spreadsheet for operating expenses on down. I have not changed salaries from last year to this year. So the only numbers that I am looking at right now are purely operating expenses. Okay, I have not taken into any raises, COLAs, salary surveys, any of that. Now, Ms. Parker and Ms. Susan are helping me with that, and we're looking at multiple scenarios throughout. I wanna see what all the numbers look like with just operating expenses with last year's salaries, what the salary survey looked like. I think we, not looking at the salary survey would be a disservice. We paid for it, at least look at it. And then some COLA options as well as the longevity pay. I think that, I've been thinking about this, longevity pay, instead of a huge COLA increase, that raises some people's salaries more than others, that maybe instead of that, do a longevity pay and reward the people that have stayed here for their time. We have a longevity pay system in place, it would be more of a review of that and see if that, helps.
Yeah, I like what Marshall did.
Well, the way that Marcel talked to me about it, if we look at, let's say, right now it's or $75 if you work here for 3 to 7, 8, or 3 to 8 years, and then 8 years to 12 years, it's $100, and then it's $125 from 12 on, and there's a cap at 20. There's a cap at $2,500, so you can work here too long, is what that tells me. So my proposal is make it a flat rate, $200 per year. It will be issued when we issue the longevity check. There's no cap. And what that does is it rewards the people that have stayed. It's a flat rate, so my 10% of my salary, if we did it, and this is just round, if we did a 10% raise, 10% of my salary is much different than the clerk, 10% of their salary. So it will save the county money while still rewarding the employees that have been here. Just again, just thought, I'm trying to reward our employees, but also be conservative about the approach. So, mull over those thoughts, and we'll be in budget hearing workshops tomorrow, we can discuss it more. Yes, ma'am?
Just, I would like to mention one thing, you know, if you work for the state for 10 years, you get healthcare for life. For us, I've had a couple of electeds and appointments come to me and ask me, if you work here for 30, 35 years, consistently with no break in service, can we pay for their health insurance once they retire until they're eligible for Medicare? I don't really disagree, I think it's a great idea, they worked here for 30, 35 years, we can bridge the gap, it's very minimal impact, and it's very few people. So if the court could consider something like that in this budget season coming up, that would be great.
That's not a good idea.
No, I don't think so.
On the OPM liability, but, I mean, it's something they used to do it years ago. Back when Mr. Irwin was here, they paid $150 a month for Christian Fidelity or something. So you got Medicare, or maybe that was a supplement, I don't know. I don't think that's the direction the counties need to go in, I guess.
what you're recommending, would that be for the employee and their entire family?
Yeah, just the employee.
Is that still the same opinion with just the employee?
It's
I'm
the
just-
board's decision.
I'm trying to learn, I just tell you what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's another benefit we can provide, sure.
Right. And so you're looking at,
Benefit providing business.
so you're looking at somebody that's worked here 30, 35 years, depending on if the board entertains them, and paying their insurance until they were 65.
And it's been asked several years in a row, I just decided to bring it to the court, I can just ask them on the side, and it's always been a no. So I wanted to publicly just ask for these people who are coming to me that are not asking in their allotted times.
Look, there's another thing.
Part of overall compensation.
Right. I'd like to get everything about that as well. Again, we'll be back tomorrow and we can re-talk about some of these things we have, sleep on it, look at some numbers if you'd like. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go through my numbers, because I was gonna have printed off for you today, where we're at on operating expense versus last year's revenue. I wanna be sure I put all the numbers in right, because the way we take in these budget sheets, it's kind of hectic, and I'm afraid I might have missed a budget sheet in my spreadsheet that's gonna print this number out. So tomorrow, this afternoon, I'm gonna go through and make sure I got all my numbers in right. I'm gonna print you guys out. It's just the recap only, and it has last year's revenue on it, I believe still. And it came from your last sheet, so I
And
think
we
it's
still coming back at 1 o'clock?
no, we're done.
We're done.
We're gonna, she's gonna come in tomorrow. Yeah. So, it's on the Miss Hightower.
You gonna play golf now?
Yeah. After that flood we got Sunday and Monday, I had 20 miles of road underwater. So I'm going to do damage assessment right now.
Right.
And I'll have you some numbers probably next week.
Wow.
That time we did 8 months worth,
Okay.
all over.
Jeez. Yeah.
Huh?
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? It only takes a couple of days and it's undone.
It seems like
Now we're at 700
one
million.
of the things we didn't take into consideration would be improving the salt lines is the impact of that infrastructure has on drainage. I don't even really take any part in that. I've got a road
Y'all are done.
I don't know.
11:53.
11:53. I mean, several of them are responsible for that changes.
You need to
All right, Commissioner Thompson.
No, I
Oh, no,
don't,
she's
I'm
ready for that.
saying that, I'm
Commissioner Thompson.
I make a motion to adjourn till 8:30 in the morning.
All right, we're staying adjourned until tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We've got Commissioner Court in the morning and then resuming budget court.
Recording stopped.
That's regular.
We leave this right here.
Yeah. If y'all can.
So your bids, Kim, that we got for the pickup, and
Yes.
you have those, or did you get them to the next one?
Yeah. We had it, Christie had it.
And then the
Okay.
excavation, we only got.
Ready for tomorrow.